Heart fans, what's up? Thanks for tuning in today. All right, don't forget to subscribe. It is awesome when that happens because it makes you feel good and it makes me feel good. Hey, this is Confessions of a Nicktoon Creator. Today we're going to talk about the Fairly OddParents and how that show was actually saved from the brink of cancellation by a little round baby with purple eyes and a rattle and a little crown, a little P on his head made of hair, and that character is called Poof. So I'm making Fairly OddParents back in the day. We made our Oh Yeah cartoon shorts from 1998, late 97, December 97. That was the month and year my daughter Sophia was born. So she's the exact same age as the Fairly OddParents. So hey, happy birthday, Sophia. I don't know when we're putting this up, but it's your birthday sometime. Sophia was born in December 97. It's when I sold the show. And then we made about 10 short cartoons of Fairly OddParents from January of 98 to, I guess, 2000. Like 2 years of my life was spent making 10 7-minute shorts because I originally made the first Fairly OddParents short that was just called the Fairly OddParents. And I thought, okay, there we go. Hopefully they'll like it. And I was such a, I guess, a youngster at the time and such a, I guess you might want to call me naive, but I went, there is no way they can't pick this show up. This is for sure the best show of the bunch. It was part of the Oh Yeah cartoon show. And sure enough, it is one of the shows they wanted to go forward with for a series at the time.
Well, you need an imagination, first of all, and you need to be able to draw a little bit.
I think the other one was Chalk Zone, and there may have been one or two more in there, but I know there weren't very many. After like 30 or 40 short cartoons, Fairly OddParents was one that they wanted to, pick up as a series. And the first thing they did was they gave me the 10 short cartoons to make. I did the pilot, and then just based on the strength of that pilot and my storyboard, I remember getting told that the storyboard was so good. See, that's why every little aspect of your cartoon is important. Don't think the storyboard's unimportant. Don't just skimp on that part of the process, because that part of the process might be something that gets you noticed. And so I did the storyboard, I did the pilot, they really loved it. Bottom line is, at the end of the run, I had about 10 short cartoons I made, mostly by myself. I had a couple people helping me design characters a little bit, had a little bit of assistance with the writing, and a little bit of assistance with the backgrounds. What I mean by that is I would kind of bounce notes off people, and I would, bounce ideas off them and get their opinions. I had a couple of people draw stuff for me, but it was pretty much a one-man show. We were all pretty much doing one-man shows and one-woman shows there on the Oh Yeah cartoon show, because it was just you making your own stuff. So anyway, Fairly OddParents gets picked up. In 2001, it premieres as a series. And it just took off from there, and it was doing great. From 2001 until about 2006, it was doing absolutely great. Couldn't be beat. Just sort of a little insight as to the way TV ratings used to work back in the day. Back then, if you got, let's say, a 5.2 rating, I know it's kind of technical, but if you got a 5.2 rating, that was considered huge. Oh my gosh, you got a 5. That's amazing. Fairly OddParents, on a regular basis, would get 8s, 9s, and 10s. We were doing that great. And I've done another video based on this topic I'm about to tell you, but Fairly OddParents was actually canceled about 5 times during that period. The show was doing fantastic, but for some reason Nickelodeon just decided not to keep doing the show. So if you watch my other video, we'll put a link down in the description, but you can check out how many times the show was canceled, but still kept coming back to life. It was amazing because it would get canceled and they would say, hey, the ratings are still really good, and then we'd get brought back.
Timmy, we need you to make wishes.
Just stall him. As soon as I sort this out, I'll come back.
We had about 5 wrap parties. That's a big party you have when the show's done. You have a big party to celebrate, and you say goodbye to people, but we wouldn't really say goodbye. We just kind of had a party and went back to work 2 weeks later. So anyway, so it was around 2007 where, we've been going strong, doing great. I'd done Danny Phantom. That was wrapping up as well. I was just on the verge of starting to develop TUFF Puppy into a show, but Fairly OddParents, it looked like it was actually going down. The ratings had never gone down on the show, but once again, for some reason, Nickelodeon, I guess they had just been done with Fairly OddParents a long time ago. Yeah, we're done. Thanks very much.
Well, it's been nice knowing me.
Again, networks always want to keep things fresh. Fairly OddParents was looking like it was going to be finished, and they came to me because we had been developing another pilot called Splatipus, and I've done another video all about that. But that didn't get picked up either. And again, these are some of the challenges you face when working at a big network, because it's always a numbers game. How many shows are you doing? How many shows can you do? How many shows will they allow you to do? I think as a consolation prize with Splatipus, they came to me and they said, hey, look, we don't know about Fairly OddParents right now, but what would you like to do with the show? We'd love to have you do whatever you want with the show. Now I've got almost like a blank check. Wow, I can do whatever I want. Okay, I said to them, here's what I want to do. And they sat there, they leaned forward, and I said, I want Cosmo and Wanda to have a baby. And they were like, they looked at each other, these network people, and they actually weren't like shocked. They thought that was a great idea. Cosmo and Wanda should have a baby. Why not? That's a great idea. Why don't we do this? Okay, great. So they agreed to it. Maybe no more Fairly OddParents, but at least they get to do something new and cool. I'm going to have Cosmo and Wanda have a baby. And Timmy will have basically a baby godbrother. That's a cool idea, right? Don't you guys think that's a great idea? I thought it was a lot of fun. So now it comes down to, okay, they're gonna have a baby. What does the baby look like? What does the baby look like? Is he square? Is he triangular? Does he look like a human? Does he look like Timmy? Does he look like Cosmo, Wanda? You know, the list of possibilities is endless. And so we have to sit there and start designing this baby. Then, what are you gonna call the baby? What's the baby's name?
It would be easier to name it if we knew what it was.
We had written a Fairly OddParents feature film back in 2002 or 3, I believe. And in the feature film, Cosmo and Wanda do have a baby, and that's where I first introduced the idea. The movie never got made. If you guys want to hear about that movie script more, or hear me read parts of it, let me know in the comment section below. I think it'd be kind of cool, because I do have the script for it. If you think that'd be interesting, let me know. Anyway, so in that movie, Cosmo wanted to have a baby, and the name of the baby is Dusty. We thought Dusty was cute because of fairy dust, you know, magic dust. We thought, okay, Dusty will be the name. And and the movie never got made, but I always had that idea in my head. So now I get a chance to make the Fairly OddParents show with a baby, and I was gonna name the baby Dusty, but it just didn't sit right with us. We just didn't like it. We're like, that's not that. It just didn't sit right.
Okay, we'll talk names later.
So anyway, but now we've got the baby idea. We're designing it, we're naming it. Now we got to come up with a story for the baby. We decided that Cosmo would have the baby because I thought it'd be really funny if, you know, Cosmo as a fairy, not a human being, as a magic creature, would have the baby. And it made for a really great comedic moment for Cosmo to be like a pregnant fairy. I thought it was kind of funny. So we land on one aspect of the story. This is really the challenge too. What do you come up with for a story? We land on this. We're like, okay, the baby's really cool to us as writers, so why don't we make the baby cool and unique for everybody? Like, it's the first baby fairy in centuries because fairies live so long. That's a great idea. Okay, cool. So now we get this baby that's been born, first one in centuries. So now everybody wants it. The pixies want it, the fairies want it, everybody wants this baby, and they'll do anything to get it. So that's where our story came from. And so it basically becomes a big chase story. Everyone's after the baby, and then Timmy has a sibling at the end of the story. And so we thought it was great. So finally we come up with this design that we love. It's the simplest design of all. It's just a circle. And my art director at the time, George Goodchild, just showed me this drawing, and it was this little circle, this little fairy that was just a head with arms and legs, and I thought it was hysterical. And I thought, that's the design. And then we came up with this name. We came up with the name Poof, and just thought it was really great, because every time Cosmo and Wanda disappear, there's a poof cloud. And when the baby's born, they don't even have time to check whether it's a boy or a girl, because everybody's after the baby. It's like, is it a boy or a girl? No time, let's go! And they had to keep running around, and by the time, and I kind of kept the audience involved, so at the end of the story, we finally reveal that the baby is a boy, because when they're changing the baby's diaper, the camera's looking up at the characters. I think it's Timmy, Cosmo, Wanda, from the baby's point of view. Timmy gets shot in the face with water, and we know it's a baby boy, because
Boys love water squirters!
And we named the episode Fairly OddBaby, and that was a lot of fun. So, and now we have this episode. We made it an hour long, I believe, and it was done. And again, keep in mind, they were still going to cancel Fairly OddParents, and we were going to get to do this one episode, and you know, kind of almost as maybe a finale. I don't know. We just kind of did it. We aired Fairly OddBaby, and guess what? It became one of the highest rated shows on Nickelodeon ever. Not only was it the highest rated Fairly OddParents episode, but I think the only thing that scored higher than that episode that year was the Super Bowl. That's what I was told. We got, remember I told you about the ratings, about how a 5 was good? We used to get 10s. Fairly OddBaby, for that one episode, got an 18 rating. It was off the charts huge. Oops, I just said Spider-Man. That's how huge it was. I actually got a call from the head of Nickelodeon at the time, and that never happened. I got a call from the head of Nickelodeon, and they said, is this Butch Hartman? And I said, yes. I knew who the person was. And the person says, are you the one who created Fairly OddParents with Fairly OddBaby, the highest rated episode of anything we've done all year? And I said, yes, that's me. And not only did that episode do great, they realized that Fairly OddParents still had potential still had legs, and still had now tons more stories to do with this baby character. He's cuddly. He says poof poof. And he's gosh darn cute. Okay guys, so that is how Baby Poof saved the Fairly OddParents, and I confess, I am thrilled that it happened. I wasn't expecting that big of a reaction. I knew it'd be great, but I'm just really glad it was as big as it was, because we got to make so many more years of awesome entertainment because of this character and because of you guys supporting it. So thank you very much. I was so glad I had such a great staff of people around me and still had the desire to want to keep making great shows for you. All right, awesome. All right, guys, don't forget to subscribe, hit the little notification bell down below, because we go live on Twitch sometimes after we do videos here. In fact, a lot of the drawings you see here on the channel are drawn live over on Twitch, so check that out. Oh, also, one more thing. Because of Poof, I got to create the character of Foop, his arch nemesis. That's a whole nother story. I'll talk about that later. Let me know down in the comment section if you want to hear that. All right, guys, see you later. As always, don't forget, art gives you power. Use it wisely. Hey Heart fans, subscribe here to keep up with me, Danny, Timmy, Dudley, Bunsen, and the NOOG Network, my new app full of cartoons, shows, and games. Download it here. Click over here to watch my most recent video, and here to start a playlist related to this video. Whoa, check out that awesome fan art. To be featured here, use hashtag HeartFanArt and tag me. I'm on every social media platform known to man. Cartoon Butch out. Pencil drop.